Welcome to The Brighter Side with Mma. Today on the show we have Mazi Ejimofo Opara, the SSA to the Governor of Anambra State on new media. You're welcome to the show, Mazi.
Thank you, Ma. Thank you for having me.
Thank you.
Yeah.
Now, our topic for today is insecurity in Anambra State. What is the government of Soludo doing to manage the situation? Why did the state government take so much time in addressing insecurity in Anambra State? The state lived in denial because they didn't accept that there was an insecurity or security issues in the state. So what actually happened? What prompted that long?
First of all, the state government didn't live in denial as reported by some people. Secondly, the state government never took the issue of security for granted. You know, oftentimes when things happen like this, we tend to be very, very forgetful. Our people are like the stomach. The stomach never remembers what it ate yesterday. So, and oftentimes when things happen in so quick succession, we take them for granted. Now, let me take you back to when this government came into being. It was in 2022, the 17th of March. Now, you were in this state in 2021, 2020, and you saw the level of insecurity that plagued the state, you know, from the trail of the now infamous NSAS protest. You were in this state when young persons like me and you took up fuel and matches, set police stations ablaze, hoodlums took over, looted police stations, and you were also in this state when, you know, we marched the streets saying NSAS and every other thing, and not to spite the effort of young people, but you and I know that that process was hijacked, and at some point it became a common sight for you to see policemen killed at checkpoint, for you to see military men murdered in cold blood. This mark in my hand is not, it's not a bet mark. It was a mark that the day they came to, you know, assassinate the current governor of Anambra State in his hometown. He wasn't the governor then. He was still an aspirant because the primary had not even taken place. He was an aspirant just addressing the youth of his community. And some men took over the place. They killed 3 of the policemen attached to him. This was in March, I think, 2021. It was in Abi when we were campaigning for life and I had this injury. So when people look at me, people come and tell me that he took so long, and I want to give you the foundation, give you more or less like a background to, you know, how we got to where we are today. So now, when Mr. Governor came on board, he declared he didn't just declare state of emergency on roads, he also declared state of emergency on security. And if you listened to him carefully, if you listen to him even during his inaugural speech, he made it manifestly clear that 8 local governments in Anambra State, as at the time we were talking about, were under siege. Under the siege. The government took the bull by the horns and started attacking them frontally. I want you to understand, or you should appreciate with Governor Soludo's fight against insecurity, is that he does not just go all out with guns and all that, you know,
okay,
to
so what
attack.
does he go?
He goes first of all to sensitize the people. I remember that before now in this state, or even in the southeast, the common thing was to tag these criminals on non-government. It was Governor Soludo who came up to say, these people are not on non-government. These people are known. They are people who you live with, people who are your brothers, your sisters, your cousins. They're not unknown. And there is nothing about these whole killings and whatever your criminality that has to do with Biafran agitation. It was just a lucrative criminality.
But the state didn't feel the impact of whatever.
How can you say the state didn't feel the impact of whatever when we came into power in 2022 and in 2023 there was a mass return in Opo? But I can tell you for free that it was also in under the same period of time he came into power that some marauding criminals around that Tagwata axis were dislodged. Camps in Aguleze were dislodged. Camps in Oboji were dislodged. You know, we recovered the totality of Agwata. We recovered Newi South. We recovered, in fact, all those local governments in the south were recovered, including Obaru in the north. I can tell you for free that prior to the whole noise making of January 1, even plus those who went to influence someone who calls himself a man of God, plus all of them. You know, I know those things are just politically orchestrated. They forgot that the governor before that time, even before the Christmas holiday, had announced that he was going to launch a Dogachi by January, and extended more of his amnesty, extended the period of amnesty for these criminals to February. Even as we speak now, the amnesty is still counting. So anybody who decides to leave the bush now and drop his arms should be forgiven and rehabilitated. But does it mean that action has not started? We all know that action has started.
You've made the point. Why were you among some other persons always refuting when some particular insecurity issues were raised on social media?
No. Let me tell you, we don't go on to when you say, I'm happy you said we refute, because I can tell you for free that the social media has brought two realities upon us. There's the social media reality, or what we call the virtual reality, and the reality that is on ground. The reality on ground is driven by facts, it's driven by evidence. That of social media can be concocted. I can sit here now and tweet that ABS is on fire. And an unwary person, somebody who is in maybe America or UK, will carry it on, and maybe I'll go and produce a video of another place that looks like ABS and put it online. Often than not, some of those things you see on social media, like I'll name Charles Obu. Charles Obu brought up a video that happened in September of last year, brought it up in, I think, 5th or 7th of this January, and said there was a kidnapping in Oba. And if I came back to refute, you tell me that I'm playing down the insecurity in Anambra State. Okay, these are some of what I'm telling you is that
you refute
are the exaggerated ones. Yeah, fake news and the exaggerated ones. And I tell that there are people all of us in social media now.
No, that's why I'm asking you.
We know that these are things people eat from. There are people who call themselves social media influencers, but have told us that there can be responsible use of the social media. But
what if a situation whereby someone comes to give information and the security personnel are in a hurry to really do an in-depth investigation, and they end up getting the wrong people? What happens in that scenario?
Well, that is why the law is procedural. The law is not haphazard. And the law, they say is an ass. It grinds slowly. Now, when we say give us information, it's just very simple. And what we want to end by that is the culture of silence. We have discovered that the reason why criminality is festering in the Southeast is because we felt that this axe is a member of the forest, forgetting that the axe has an iron edge. So now what we're saying is to tell our people, if you see something, say something. And the reason why there is a bounty is to encourage people, so you don't know that, so you don't feel that, why am I doing this, what is coming out of it? Our people are very capitalist oriented, so when you attach incentive to anything, they want to. So but we know for sure that when they other call bullshit, and when they are say fast, but do you know why
there's been something made in there?
Yeah, of course there will be checks now. Our security agencies are not daft. You get it? They're not out come and say Mama is a criminal, or Mama is a kidnapper, and they'll come shoot him. You know now. Okay. If you give us information, then we'll be on the mass trail. We will not come and say there. If you give us information, of course now information includes the person's phone number, where the person stays, everything. So when you know, when they now begin, when you now come under such surveillance, the beauty of that is that everybody will now be forced to live a very legitimate life, because you don't know who is watching you. Okay. Because you know now that your criminal lifestyle is now can be a source of livelihood for somebody, because somebody can just go there,
give information, simple.
So that the psychology behind that pronouncement by Mr. Governor is to boost the confidence of our people, you know, in direction of saying, if you call a thief by his or her real name, don't be scared to report people. And let me tell you, we know everything is subject to abuse.
Okay.
There must be something on ground for people to reach out to. People must have that confidence in institutions of government that if we provide information for government to work, government would use that information and work for the benefit of all of us.
Okay, finally, a few days ago, there is a banker that was killed, and it was alleged that a ransom was paid twice. And from the picture making rounds on social media, we saw that she was blindfolded. So there were questions surrounding that. That is one. The second one, we know Big Ben, associate business partner to GSS, he's currently kidnapped. We don't know anything about him. And so many others. What is, aside, I know that security, the Udogachi, encompasses all of this, but is there something in particular made towards finding this person?
Okay, first of all, let me just, I have with every sense of modesty, and Ben himself is not just some distant person. Most people don't know how close I am with Ben. You know, when we organized, of course,
because it was recently.
No.
He was kidnapped in November,
yes,
and they started talking about him ending of December.
No. Let me tell you. You know, oftentimes when things happen like this, and that is why we always tell people, when issues of this nature happen, don't be in a hurry. For instance, if God forbid I'm kidnapped tomorrow. I wouldn't appreciate the fact that people go on and say SSA to the government on new media has been kidnapped. You know why? Because people who may have kidnapped may not even know what I represent. It happens more often than not that people now say, oh, so okay. You get the point. So oftentimes when we go all out like on social media, we tend to derail the investigation process. And we tend to arm some of these criminals with, because they are there with us. So they are on social media with us. They are reading the posts and everything. They are following.
Most times commenting.
Most times commenting. You get it. So the reason why that's what I tell people, don't always be in a hurry to announce a negative news. When they come back to haunt you, because you know there's this hurry to say I posted it first. People are looking at this clickbait. People are looking for traction to there. Nobody's concerned about thorough investigation. Nobody's concerned about the safety of others. What they want is, let me first post them, so let the traction come to me and all that. No, we have to go beyond that. Investigation in every part of the world is not a quick fix. It's a painstaking process. So if maybe there are things I may, if I were not in office, maybe I may say, there are things I cannot say even for the burden of stuff, So, but if probably I was an ordinary citizen, of course I would have to lend my voice. But as somebody who understands the process and knows what is going on behind the scene, it will be quite unreasonable of me to want to meddle into such very sensitive issues. So my heart goes out sincerely. That of Ben hit people. When people say it does not happen to you, with Ben, I believe it has not happened to me, because Ben is one of my biggest supporters. When we organized the second edition of AFI, Ben was a major sponsor. Those people I knew, anyone who attended AFI saw that Ben didn't just take a stand. Ben added a lot of color to what we did at AFI. So it tells you the depth of our relationship. So when people say that, no, it hits home. It hits home really hard for me.
Okay.
So I can tell you for free that the government is not sleeping on this matter.
Okay.
Especially that of Ben. And that of the banker. Well, I saw that. I often do not like opening such claims because it gives me some kind of depression. So, but when I saw that and everybody was pushing it on the face and everybody, and people started saying, people identified the cops on the road and said that she was a banker, and most people now know her, because I don't know her personally, but people I know her and all that. Like, this is somebody's sister. This is somebody's investment. Every human being is somebody's investment, because for every 1 naira you're making, there are up to 10 persons who are you get it. So you can imagine. Like, so that's why the government is saying that these people you're dealing with are not human beings. They are beasts. That's why if you have any information about them, say it. No. These people are mean. They don't have your interest at heart. So if you see a criminal, report the criminal. Let's get the person off.
Thank you so much.
Yeah.
So, at the moment, if you see any criminal in Anambra State, please report the person.
Yes.
If you see something, say something.
Yeah.
And Operation Udogachi, from every indication, has come to stay.
Yeah.
It's not a one-off stuff, and it's not the more you look, the less you see.
Agune Chamber is your friend.
Agune Chamber is your friend. Yeah. So let's make security our topmost priority in this Anambra State. You never can tell. If you keep quiet, you might be the next. I may be the next.
Sure.
So let's join hands together and fight this menace eating up the state. I am still Chidema Ikanyo, and this is The Brighter Side with Mma. Thank you for joining us.